On this episode of the No Chill Podcast, we've got one we've been looking for, knowledge of the game from the guys that played it. Earl Watson got into coaching at the pro level after 13 seasons as a player. By 2015, he was in the head coach seat in Phoenix. The first thing he did was recognize the brilliance in store for Devin Booker and then put him in a position to tap into it. By going through the fires and playing among greatness, Earl's approach to coaching is with that in mind. For Gil, he recognizes Earl's philosophy as a player's coach and the benefit it gives not only stars, but your entire roster. Between Earl and Gil, they see where it works and where it doesn't. Also, how to relay that information to the next wave. They see the evolution in talent and are here to push it forward. It's an awesome edition of the No Chill Podcast because we love Earl Watson and we love knowledge of the game. Remember, subscribe to No Chill Podcast wherever you get your podcasts for every episode as soon as they drop, and be sure to check it out on the No Chill channel on YouTube. And don't forget, every Monday, No Chill with Gilbert Arenas on the Fubo Sports Network, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there. Welcome to another edition of No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. I'm Mike Botticello, and Gil, today on the show, it's a reunion show. The 2001 draft, the second round to be specific. We got Gilbert Arenas, pick number 32,
I think.
And we have Earl Watson, pick number 39.
Yeah. No, I think 31, I was 31.
Yeah, you was 31.
I was 31.
Yeah.
So here we
Technically 30, because, some with Timberwolves, and they didn't get a pick, and it just kind of, so they didn't have that last
Was
pick.
that the Joe Smith thing? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we had Golden State Warriors and Seattle Supersonics. Shout out to Seattle. Everyone loved that team. We got to bring the Sonics back. But Earl, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Gil has on my jersey, which is
Of course.
That 25, baby.
It's kind of like I think he's low key messing with me. That's the jersey he hit the game winner on me with.
No.
I
was wearing that jersey in Seattle, and he was at that year he was hitting game winners damn near from half court. So when it came down to it, I was like, I am not letting him shoot this shit. Like, I'm gonna jam him, and my big gonna have to make a play in the paint because I knew he was gonna beat me, but he wasn't gonna do the half court walk away, hold his hands up on me. Like I couldn't let that happen. But he hit a runner, and I was pissed as hell.
And the funny part is, I was trying because you were so close. I was trying to hurry up and get the foul.
Yeah, you kept hesitating.
That was before, that was before we faked fouling.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to draw to see if they're gonna call it, so I don't even have to worry about the layup. But they just didn't, and I just chucked that shit. It was a chuck.
But all summer, that whole summer, like you was crazy that summer at UCLA playing pickup. You was shooting those half court shots. So I would watch his workouts. When I would go there, I would watch people's workouts and get their rhythms and steal shit for the season. You know what I mean? That's why I would play pick up full and say, okay, if I pick up full in the summer, he gonna give me everything in this pickup game. And he was like half court shot, drill. I'm like, shit. I got to jam this half-court shot. This is drill work for him, but he hit a good shot.
So funny, that's crazy that you said that, because I think that's what's missing is we're going into the summer studying.
Yeah.
We're studying, that was what the summer was. Okay, what does he do with me? Because that's what I'm thinking, man, he jammed me, I need to figure, because in the season, he already got the best of me, so he already gonna know how to, we sit there and just sitting there watching. It wasn't one of those where we just go out there and we sitting there trying to figure out weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think that it's not they're not playing it the same.
No, I think the way we thought the game out was very thorough. For me, I knew my role. I knew how I could stay in the league, and that was to change the game. If I was with Denver, shoot a lot of threes. If I was Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis, be efficient, a lot of threes. If I was with Utah, be great running the offense in the half court. Dump into Paul Millsap, Al Jefferson, and let them work. And what I would do is, I know one thing was consistent is you change the game, you change the pace of the game defensively. So for me, I would count dribbles. I would count your dribbles in the summer, 1, 2, 3, hezzy.
Yep.
So I would mimic that, and when I'm guarding them, move my count 1, 2, 3, and I would swipe on the hezzy to make them go 4.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta have counters, and what I realized is the top players in the league, like Gil, had counters for everything. But I'm only gonna run into a Gil every 2 games, maybe every 3. So somebody else ain't got that counter, I mean, they shit all day. You know what I mean? Like the 1-2 hezzy, or, you know, you take a player who's vertically, okay, I'm gonna pick him up full, make him play horizontally. Now he can't score in the half court because he used to with speed. You know, so you like, I make you do what you don't do. That was my whole defensive mindset.
And that's funny because whenever I did dribble and I'm going, and then someone like, whoa, wait, hold on. Like, how did you know I was about to try to take off?
Yeah.
And then I got to reverse it and then try to go. And that's why I always said, when there's a great defender, remember, they studied you.
Yeah.
That's what makes playoffs so great.
Yeah.
If you can score in the playoffs, you are skilled. Because they know everything. That defender is looking at the playbook. He's knowing, he's watching film. And I say, when you have a great defender, you can't play around with them.
No.
Because their whole job, they know that. They want you to keep doing that. Because eventually, they're gonna get your rhythm. They're gonna wear you out. So, you know, with a great defender, no matter how good you are playing, you still gotta keep them off balance. You know, take shots that you didn't want to shoot, but they're like, okay, wait, why is he shooting from there? Make him rethink. Because you gotta remember, they have the game plan. He's not trying to hold you to zero. He knows you're a volume shooter, so you're gonna shoot 30 shots. If you 10 for 30, good job, I did it. You know, and that's what I started realizing. So it's like, the better the defender, the less I'm trying to fuck around with him. You know, I just need to get to the yams, and just because the more I mess around, it's better for him and his teammates.
And for me, I learned this from Hubie Brown early in my career when I was with Memphis, and Hubie Brown, Jerry West. Hubie will always have us pick up full court and turn a player twice. And this is when the Lakers were crushing it with Shaq and Kobe. That combination was ridiculous. And even if the game was close, I would always feel like they just fucking with us. Like, you know what I mean? Because they can throw it to Shaq at any time and separate the game. So I'm like, damn, are we really winning, or are they about to start waking up? Now, rest in peace, Lorenzen Wright, when he would have to guard Shaq, he don't have to guard a full 7 seconds. It's like 4. And those 3 seconds are big, because Shaq would any time, he's gonna get a good shot. But if you can limit his dribbles to bang you, because Shaq was a banger, boom, boom. With 2 versus 4, where you just can't stop it, we had a chance to win.
And that's the brilliancy of just thinking the game, because if you're not a thinker, you miss out on all of this information. And I tell kids that you have to think the game also. You have to be just as smart to play this game, because there's little gems throughout the game, little secrets that help you, like get through situations.
And I know we talk basketball all the time. We see this like deep ass conversations with the game. But watching the playoffs this season, the Lakers early in the bubble, their guards was chill as fuck on defense. They was swaggy. They was like LA, I call it the LA cool, right? They were like not picking up full court, meeting them at 3/4, quarter, half court. And then Dame went off, right? CJ was going off. Something happened in that locker room where, and I played for Coach Vogel as an assistant in Indiana with the Pacers under like Larry Bird and Jim O'Brien. Coach Vogel is cool. He's a cool players coach with accountability. Like, he lets you hoop in practice. Like, they want to see like you get into it and hoop. He roll out the ball. Something happened to where I guarantee that him or Jay Kidd was like, no, we got to start picking up full. We got to kill that clock and wear players down. And then that's when the Lakers defensively changed, and they haven't stopped that mindset. Now Danny Green, KCP picking up full. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to set the present, because you got AD and Bron. Just be ready to shoot threes.
Yeah.
Give them the ball, spot up, exchange, like cut sometimes, and be ready to let it fly, because they will find you. And that's where they just took off.
I think sometimes, like with teams like that, when you have greatness and you're trying to be a role player, you get lost in their greatness. And you don't want to like mess it up. You don't, it's one of the things, like you can see some players, I'm like, just shoot that. Like, because if you don't shoot it, your man is gonna now keep So there's shots you're just gonna have to take,
Yep.
no matter if you like them or not, because it frees up AD and LeBron.
Yeah.
And I think now you got Caruso getting to the rim.
Yeah.
Because what I started doing the math on is, I realized if they're shooting 20 free throws,
Yeah.
AD and LeBron are taking all the free throws.
Yeah.
And that also means they're getting hit too much.
Yeah.
Because they got to get to the penalty. So that means they're getting hit without any penalties.
Yep.
And then they got to get to the penalty hit. So I said, like a player like Caruso, with the jumping power, with your driving skills, take relief off of those guys.
Yeah.
Get 2-3 fouls, a half. That means LeBron ain't getting hit 2-3 times, without it costing them. So it's like little things like that you got to understand. Don't be afraid, because it helps them in the long run.
Well, you said, Earl, and I think you guys would know this, you actually know what happened in the locker room. Do you think it was Jay Kidd that recognized that as a guard to know that's what you got to do is pick him up full court?
I think you think about the Pacers teams from when Larry Bird was there leading the organization. People forget how aggressive those Celtic teams were in the backcourt. Like they would fist fight you in the old Lakers Celtics games. You know what I'm saying? Like they would fist fight you. And Larry Bird always had that mentality, even though he wasn't the one fist fighting, he was the one verbally instigating it, right? He always talked the most trash, right?
Protection.
Yeah, so it just, that carried over to the Pacers when he coached with the Pacers, when he became front office with the Pacers. And Dick Harder was there, rest in peace to Dick Harder, who is a legendary Oregon Ducks head coach who coached with Pat Riley with the Knicks. So he always had this theme. And, when I first signed with Indiana, me and him, we really had a really weird relationship, because he was, Oregon Ducks, UCLA, right? And I was like, hold up, like you talking about Coach Wooden, like I know you my coach, but watch how you fucking talk to me, right? And then after my first game, I played defense, and I like to get up under you, because if I would close out to Gil, I can't give Gil space. He's too strong, too talented, too fast, too skilled. He will yam the shit out of me. But if on a catch, if I can jam him and get up under him and make him back up on me,
that's what I have to do every time.
It helps me. Yeah. It helps me, right? It's gonna help me, because I'm not as fast as him, I'm not as strong as him, and I was laterally quick as him. But if I can make him now play in smaller space, even though I know I'm at the guard him, I'm comfortable with that. I know he's gonna hit tough ass shots, and I know I'm not gonna stop him. But if I can make him talk, like, damn, every time I play Earl, he fucking jams me, and they ain't gonna call foul every time, so I'm getting away with hits, bumps, and they gonna call a foul, but they ain't gonna call 6 in a row. So shit, I'm gonna use mine. I'm gonna lose 4 to 5 every game off the bench and just be aggressive. So it's like, once Dick Harder saw me play that way, he was like, I love the way you play defense. And we became friends. And we started talking about the old days and defensively. So Frank Vogel has that mindset. Jay Kidd has that mindset. And those Pacers team with Frank, when he was leading a young Paul George, were aggressive and kind of like, as Pop would call it, edgy or nastiness.
I think that's exactly what it is. As a player that played it, has been through the wars in the trenches, to being able to relate to the next wave. That's really what it is. That doesn't always happen. And it takes that, that camaraderie, even if you butted heads at first with Dick, and then, okay, we worked this out because he saw in you who he was as a player. I think is that what you guys ultimately would want to do with the next generation?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to, use how I thought the game into trying to get into coaching, but because coaching is still different.
Yeah.
There's more micromanaging, than it is as a player. Even though I think the best coaches are the players, because to be at that level, you had to think different.
Yeah.
You had to pick up on things, time possession, who does what, whose favorite spot, what the milk, what. You had to understand that. You had to process it all. Now just how do you translate it to coaching where you can give that information to kids? I'm still trying to figure that out. It's one of those things. It's just like, I'm still trying to learn from the other side on how do you relay the message of this, because we naturally did it.
Yeah.
Now it's trying to relay it.
Yeah.
trying to relay that message is what I'm trying to grasp right now.
Earl, you did it.
Yeah.
So how did you do
I
it?
think it's different because Gil was so talented. Like, me and Gil go way back. I remember when Gil was coming to play at UCLA in high school, right? And we would try to give him clothes, shoes. So when he didn't come to UCLA, I was low-key pissed at him. Like, I remember he would come, he was like our little bro. Like, you know what I mean? And he'd be in there and it's like he was super fast. He was shorter, but he would shoot super fast. And then his senior year, I'm reading about him giving people like 40s, right, in the Valley, right? But then back then, the LA kids was like, oh, that don't really count. And I remember, because I'm not from LA, I'm like, shit, I think it counts. Like, counts, you know what I mean? 40 is swear, okay, where you get it? Like, if you can be 50 and go play with 12-year-olds, you ain't gonna get 40. You're gonna be too tired. So like, and then at the end of this high school season, they had an all-star game at Pauley Pavilion. It was like it was an LA All-Star game. I remember that. And I remember seeing Gil there, right? And he didn't speak. He already committed to Arizona. I was like, oh shit, it's time to go to war. Like, I can't like him anymore. Like, that he set the tone right there, and I was like, oh, cool. Okay, I got you. Like, it's just, that's how we competed. But when you really think about like breaking down a player, and for me, it was always, I think I was just lucky to be in the right spaces. My high school teammate from middle school, high school was Jerron Rush. So he's the #1 player in the country. So I will always watch how the top players think. Top players like Gil, they are non-pattern players. And what I mean by that is, this is a good example. D. Will in Utah was the best version of D. Will we saw. He mastered that pattern of offense. You couldn't play outside of autos, Coach Long. When D. Will went to Brooklyn, he had to think different, and it's hard to play in a pattern and then go to a non-pattern offense where end of the game, figure it out.
Yep.
Because that's what you did. End of the game, you figured it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what's gonna happen end of the game with facing Gil, but I knew with D. Will, end of the game, it was gonna be high pick and roll, D. Will, Boozer. High pick and roll, D. Will, miss out. Like, you knew what was gonna happen, then he's gonna come off, he's gonna cross you, come off, hit you with a step back. What they did with him is they said, put 4 on the baseline, flatten out, here's the ball. I'm like, like, you know what I mean? So I learned rhythms, I learned flow, I learned mindset, and I learned patterns to players to where it hasn't, in the longest time, people talk about Ja Morant, right? And the first comparison people was throwing out, and it went like wildfire. He's like Russell Westbrook. He's not. Ja was a natural point. Russ was never a natural point. He had to learn the position. Ja plays differently. Just because he's athletic don't make them the same. Like, you know what I mean? So Ja, to me, reminded me more of Baron Davis, Gilbert Arenas. Because he can hit you with patterns that you didn't see on the video. Like, he hit you with new. I remember I played against BD, and BD hit me. I know BD loved the step back and the hezzy and the cross, step back for 3. So I was on his patterns, like swiping. We practice every day. You slay together. My roommate hit me with a step back and then a hezzy and another in-out step back. It damn near broke my ankle. I wasn't used to that, but he knew he had to go into something different. And when you have a non-pattern player like Gil, and he sees a player who is, say, a younger me coming up, you have to teach me in a pattern. Right? And then when you see someone like yourself, and this is what I did with Devin Booker, I wanted to see how many complex combos could I put into his game early. So we get in the gym, I'll be like, okay, step back cross, get back to the midpoint, which is on the baseline, the dunker spot, step back, fade. And he was doing them so effortlessly. I was like, okay, now I can start reflecting on my time around seeing you in the summer. Reflecting on videos of Kobe. We can start breaking down film of Kobe. Now we can start breaking down film of players who I play with who can play outside of a pattern like a KD. You know what I'm saying? Who can play outside a pattern like a combo guys and studying film, and let's just start giving him everything.
Do you think that's more kids nowadays are going to, non-pattern or freestyle? The more kids are gonna be able to play like that, or is it the opposite, less?
It's like, gray area players versus black and white.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was in, and I had the conversation with Stan Van Gundy. And I said, you know, you can never coach a Derrick Rose. I said, you know, you need the JJ Redicks, and you need to know exactly what's going on all the time, and that's why you have so much control. Mm-hmm. Because you don't want to let your star, and you can't. It's hard for you to have gray area players. I said, so you need the black and white to know what's going on, and I'm like, we don't have a black and white team.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not a black and white player. Mm-hmm. I said, you know, Jason Richardson, no, I say, you just let go, let us do what we do.
It's concepts.
I said, because you got Jameer Nelson, he's stoppable in black and white.
Yeah.
You give him his free reign, he'll turn into a whole nother player. Because I can see it. I can see that he's forcefully holding back. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not letting him just do him. And that's what usually happens with, you know, players. You know, you get put in the wrong situation and your talent get held down to the point where you don't even know who you are anymore. And you have to conform to this box area type of game, which is not your game. You know, so now I always tell people, like, if you get put in the wrong situation, same thing with a coach. Like, if you're a coach that allows freedom and you like gray area, and every player you had is black and white, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're drafting the wrong players for this organization. This is, you know what I mean? But you know, as it seems like as coaches, yeah, I guess you have to understand that too. Understand what you have and try to utilize it. But it's like, yo, hey, chef.
It's interesting he talks like that, and this is really good because I don't feel like a lot of people understand this. When I was at UCLA, I would spend a lot of time with Coach Wooden. I would try to see him once every other week at his condo off White Oak. He lived right off White Oak in the Valley, Encino. Mm-hmm. And I'm like young, you know what I'm saying? I just heard what I saw on TV. It's no social media, so I've seen pictures, I've seen old videos, but I can't like Google stuff back then. I didn't know computer, I was broke, you know what I mean? Broke as hell. I didn't see a computer until I got to college first time. So I was sitting in his den like this, having conversations, and he hits me with this, and it messed me up because I wasn't ready for this. And I did not want to make this first meeting a bad impression. He was like, twice in my career, I did not run the UCLA high post. He created the offense. He's like, do you know when? I'm like, shit. I don't know. He's like, when I had Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton, why would I put dominant 7-footers at the elbow? And I was like, damn. He was like, you have to conform to your personnel. Don't be so stubborn in what you know that you force your team to play a certain way that doesn't fit. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, oh, light went off, right? And I would go home and I always wanted to be like Coach Wooden. While I was hanging with Coach Wooden, my roommate, Baron Davis, was hanging with Magic Johnson. And if you see us, we kind of like took off in those directions. You know what I mean? I wanted to be like Coach Wooden because this inspiration and what he's given me just constantly changed my life. And we talk about pattern, player, non-pattern. You get the wrong coach, it can change the entire player's career. Mm-hmm. So start with Devin Booker. I had an opportunity to bring him along slowly because they had just paid Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight $140 million combined to start in the backcourt. So by me starting Devin Booker was like, whoa, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. I'm not paying him $70 million, Brandon Knight $70 million come off the bench. But I just saw in the backcourt when you have Brandon Knight and Eric Bledsoe, you had two pattern players. Mm-hmm. The game was changing, and I knew the game was changing because from my AAU teams, I seen what was coming. That's not going to be sustainable. In the playoffs, you can't have a pattern player with the ball. Yep. You're not going to win. Yep. So I looked at Devin, and I was already, before I became an interim, I was already working him out, so I knew what he was capable of doing. I was his development coach. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, we're going to switch it, we're going to start him, and that's going to be the role. And people thought I was crazy. Because at Kentucky, he played as a pattern player, catch and shoot. He wasn't isolated. He came off the bench. And here I am saying as a young coach who just came from the G League, lost in the Western Conference Finals, like, what the hell are you telling us? Like, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, I've been teammates with these players my whole life, similar. And the first week with Book, I put him in limited patterns, a lot of creativity. And I set him in front of the whole team, in front of the whole room. I learned some UB Brown. I gave everyone a role, tell them how many shots they're gonna shoot, how many minutes they're gonna play, and you ain't gonna play. But if he fucks up, you're gonna take his spot. He has 5 games not to fuck up or secure his spot. Just be ready. You might not like it, but you respect it instead of sitting at the bench wondering, like, you know what I mean? And I looked at Book and I was like, yeah, you're gonna shoot 16 to 21, 22 times a game. And everybody like, Book is like, what, 18 at the time? And Markieff Morris, we're gonna play out of you. I know you haven't had a successful time here. It's been, you wanna get out, you wanna get traded. We got 2 weeks to the trade deadline. You're gonna be our number 1 option. Mid-post, pick and pops, pin downs, isolations, dribble handoffs. You're gonna receive in turn because he's agile with the ball. He reminds me of Paul Millsap. So I started mimicking my time with Paul Millsap, right? And hopefully we get you traded in 2 weeks. What coach has that conversation? Yeah. I want you here, but I'm also a pro and I've been here. It ain't about me, it's about you. Let's kill all the elephant in the locker room. Anyone that has a problem with Markieff getting 16 to 20 shots a game, 20 plus a game, and Book, raise your hand. Oh, you don't? Cool. PJ Tucker, you're gonna be our defender, our leader, corner threes. Every corner 3 you get, if you don't shoot, I'm subbing you out. Right? Let's hoop. Clears conversation. Non-pattern player, Jason Tatum. I went to his workout before the draft with the Suns. I was head coach. I never seen no shit like this. We get in the gym, he's doing his dribble warm-up drills. You know, we sit down, they start corner threes. He rips off 40 straight corner threes. Doesn't miss the first one, 40 straight. Boom, 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 boom. My mind starts going. Shit, great shooters I play with. Dame Lillard, Jason Capono, Ray Allen, Wes Person. He's a natural shooter. Owner stops it. We didn't stop it, do something else. Like, no, let him go to 100. Let's see how many he can rip off. That tells you a lot, right? You know, you're a shooter, you rip them off. You talk about that. If you can't rip it off, you can't shoot. He gets into his combo drills and he's elusive and he's moving. He has like 3 or 4 combos for every move. I'm like, a shooter who's a non-pattern player who's a scorer is dangerous. It's a no-brainer. If we can figure out a way to get him with Devin Booker,
oh shit, yeah.
with TJ Warren, who's a non-pattern scorer in the paint, you have great balance to your attack. We might not be good defensively because they both young, but y'all better be ready to score 130. Jamal Murray, same draft. Sit with him, he doesn't rip them off like Tatum, but you could tell he's a great shooter. And then when I see him work out, he's such a pro, and I could tell he has the ability. So some players are great workout and game players, and some players are terrible workout players and gamers. I was like, he's a gamer. I seen him beat the USA team as a kid representing Canada. I've been around AAU for so long. I watch all of them come up. He's a gamer, so I have a conversation with him. I want to like, yo, what's behind there, right? Because you can do everything. You can get fooled by watching a workout. What's behind here? So I asked him like, yo, what is like your regimen? This is crazy. He was like, my dad has been teaching me to meditate since I was 5 years old. He said, I meditate every morning of the game, the entire game, and I can meditate my heart rate to damn near death. I'm like, how can we get him too?
Don't tell anybody else that.
How can we get him too? Because he was beyond his years and he was so calm, and I'm not surprised by the success he's having. You're not gonna rattle him. You know, you're not gonna rattle him. And it's like, how do you get these non-pattern players and make them feel comfortable? So But the year our coach finished, we had the most game winners of any team in the league. And this is hard to do with a team that's not trying to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where rosters are limited by ownership, you just cut them and 5 players not available tonight. But what we did the summer before is I would get Book, I would get Bled, and TJ, all that game winner special. Only 3 is gonna get it. Book's gonna be the first option. And between Bled and TJ, if Book is not going, whoever going. But I knew Book always wanted it, but we practiced game winners. Right, we couldn't end a workout unless you hit 2 or 3 game winners in a row to end it. And some of them I would create a pattern for Bled, I would create an isolation for TJ off the move, and I would create isolation and pattern or catch at the elbow for Book. You can put them anywhere for game winner. You know what I mean? You can catch off the dribble with the jabs, you can give him the ball, or you can run a high pick and roll. And I knew the flow of the game. I would look at him, he'd be like, all right, zipper up, everybody flat, you know, versus Dallas, you know, you're gonna catch it. Wes Matthews, who's gonna guard you, was my teammate in Portland. He gonna jam you. He gonna get up under you and try to bully you. Don't waste your dribble. Pivot, Kobe shit, jab, pivot. We did it all summer, let's go. It was easy, he knew he was getting it, game winners. We practiced it. You know, even we practiced it. So you gotta have that, I don't know what to say. I think you gotta have that experience to say, you know, this is how it's gonna go because you remind me of X.
Yeah.
You know?
And that when you're on the outside and you look in and you see some of the decision makings that's going on, some of the players that's picked, how do you get it wrong? It's because when you go to the next level, because they've never played the game, and never thought of the game like this, they don't know what they're looking at. They're looking at face value. How did he shoot in the workout? I don't care how he shot it. How does he play? You know, because some guys know how to bring it in practice. Some just can't.
They just can't.
They just don't know. It just doesn't trigger them. But when you turn those lights on, they actually can, like, go.
They wasn't trained to be a skilled guy in a workout. They were just hoopers who I could never give Gil, this is where I understand, you gotta understand your limitations. If Gil was younger and he came to me, I would pull all his videos and mimic all his patterns. And if a kid asks me, why did he do that? I'm like, I don't know. When you're a pattern player, there is no why. You just feel. Like, you know, it's like you like a freestyle dancer. Like he doesn't know why. It just comes to him quick. You know, that's how he thinks. Like, you can't mimic that. You just gotta be able to, like, be creative in the moment.
But I think that's what it is. I think it's feel. And that's what you can't, really, especially when you're a great player, you can't really describe that to people. It just,
and
that's the challenge. Can you describe it?
I have even when I got drafted, right? Everything I did, like, me personally, off me going through the draft, I thought I was top 10 after all my workouts. Oh, that was it. Bust his ass, bust him. He's horrible. He's special. Not to me. Killed him, right? So when draft day come, I'm over here like, yeah, what's that? Yeah, Boston, I know you got me. I done killed everybody y'all brung up. No. And I'm looking at dress. Says I'm the best one-on-one player, so what else they looking for? And then I'm sitting here like, I don't like the process because the guys you're looking at, let me go at him so we can see if he's really this good. Because you gotta remember, you don't know how great someone is until they play against someone who might not be better, but he has bigger heart. You need to really test your product. So it's like, there's a reason that only 2.5 players make the All-Star in the lottery. And the other All-Stars that's coming through after the draft, because what you're basing it off of has no merit to actual gaming. Because I remember when I'm playing I'm in Golden State, and I remember I called my first 1-4 flat. We do the pick and roll, boom. Somehow we get the switch, right? So I got the big man on me, Eric Dampier, and then Eric Dampier's on me, and our big man would have been, it was Danny Fordson as the second unit. Nope, Mark Jackson. It was Mark Jackson, got Dean Oliver on him. Right? And one flat. Coach calls timeout. Well, what are you doing? What do you mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't see we have an advantage down there? That's not an advantage. And he lost it. Wait, excuse me? That's not an advantage? No. So you're saying our big man down there on a guard is not an advantage? Oh, I got to hear this. Well, it's the big man down there. The defense is going to double that. Like, as soon as I throw it down there, they're going to double. He's going to pass it out. I'm going to get it. I'm going to pass it, swing it. You got a non-shooter in the corner. That's the shot the defense probably wants, that non-shooter in the corner. No, so that's not an option. I have the big man, the basket protector on me. I'm going to beat him to the basket. Who's protecting them once I get there?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
I'm going to get an easy layup. Worst case scenario, the guard who was guarding me has to try to take a charge. I dump it off to my guy. He makes a layup.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Get out. Damn. Go inside. I had to go back on the sideline. Oh, I know that shit would have worked, bro.
Yeah.
Right, you sitting there, right? Sitting there. It was like 5 plays later, right? Same thing.
Yeah.
Got the switch, and I said, you know what? Pass it down. Double, swing, swing, swing. Boop. I said, I guess that wasn't the play.
Yeah.
Right? And then from there, you know, I remember we had like, back then they had like, it wasn't therapists. It was like, you know, I mean, was it called therapists?
I know you're talking about like there was a sign to the team.
Yeah. So I'm talking to him, and you know, now he wants to talk about and I had to explain to him, and he was like, you know, I don't know if you're ever going to be, you know, good in here, but you think.
Yeah.
You know, like the logic behind it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the norm.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the norm. So, you know. And he was like, don't conform.
Yeah.
Because what you said makes sense. Because now what they just did now doesn't make sense. See, passing it to the post made sense until someone just introduced something different.
Yeah.
And now the new, you know, so I challenged that thought process early.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't play. Dave Cowens ended up getting fired, and Brian Winters was the coach. Mm-hmm. And Brian Winters, from the rip, like, I mean, I'm on IR, really not playing, and then he was like, "Do you?"
And that's when you start getting like 20s and 30s.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, you go from IR trying to make it, you know, it's like I know I'm good. I mean, I'm probably not NBA good, but you know, I can get like 4-5. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he was like, "Yo, just play your style.
Yeah.
Don't, you know, we don't have. Look, you see what we have.
Yeah.
Just go out there and play." And he was the first one to just go.
And that's interesting, right? Because going back to drafting players, you have 3 years to define a young NBA player. After the 3rd year, they conform to who they said they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Now, if he would have said, okay, he ain't gonna be the same Gil, right? He was in his first year. Mm-hmm. So non-pattern players have a stubbornness to their ability and confidence that as a coach, you gotta understand. You gotta let it go. Mm-hmm. And when you draft him, you gotta have a vision for him. You don't just draft him because he's good. You go, okay, when I draft him, he's going to scale into this. How can we get him there? Well, coach, if you give Devin Booker the ball and he's 18, most 18-year-olds can't handle it, and he fails, you might crush him. True, but I spent time with Devin Booker, and I know his dad is a real one. Mm-hmm. His dad was my favorite player in the Big 12. Melvin Booker, point guard at Missouri, Big 12 player, Big 8 player of the year back then, right? So I know what he put into him, and when I talk to him outside of basketball, because we have an outside basketball relationship, he's mature for 18. Mm-hmm. If he failed, I'm not worried. If he missed, I'm not worried. I know he can bounce back. Mm-hmm. But if you have another player who's younger, who's not ready for that, You can't put him in that situation because it'll crush him. But Gil was ready for that. And if I was the coach back then, I dropped a young Gil, I know his background story. I know how he persevered in his personal life to get to this point. I know as a UCLA, he played bad in the first half and gave us 33 in the second. At Paulie, I was like, this is my coach. I was like, man, this is the coach. You can't stop him, right? His speed is remarkable. And I'm like, late pick, we got to still give him the ball, watch him go. But the thing is, that old NBA era was pattern only. That's why all the point guards went late. And remember, that was a big draft. It was like 7-footer.
That was all the high school big kids. Like the first point guard was Utah.
Pargo?
No, Pargo. No. It was a Utah Lopez. Raul
Lopez, yeah.
It was like the first, and I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Then it was like Jamal Tinsley.
Yeah, all at the end.
Yeah, it was all at the end.
You flooded into the first pick in the second round, and the rest is history. But Gil was if Gil came into this league now, he'd be top 3 because it's all about trends. And I'll talk about this all the time. NBA analytics, NBA coaches, GMs, you don't set the trend. The trend is coming up. Mm-hmm. I've seen this trend coming from AAU basketball. You don't set the trend. Nobody got, Steph Curry or Trae Young and said, okay, we're going to allow you to do it. No, they came in and said, this is me. Everybody else is going to adjust. Yep. So if you don't know grassroots, you don't know the next trend. This trend is not going to last forever. It's going to constantly change. That's just basketball constantly changes. So you got to adjust to the trend and say, how can I make this player better instead of conforming to the way we had to pass in the post, cut through, spot up in the corner, and if you have post game, you got all the touches.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you said about Ja Morant is exactly that. People didn't know what Westbrook was, right? Until he became who he became. And now when Ja comes along, coaches just kind of think like that. Like, all right, now he's like a Westbrook type player, so I'm gonna do Westbrook type things with him. When as soon as you start to think like that, you're lost. Because it's like if you're a cook and I can make a dish with you just throw it on the counter and I'll make a meal out of it.
Yeah, it's just like us growing up. And the wave is looking. So what the wave is doing, this bottom grassroots, they're looking at NBA.
Yeah.
They're watching, they're mimicking, then you gotta remember, here, all the freedom in the world, mentally. Up here, most of the players are capped off, depending on what you are in your team. So they get to look and watch moves and go out there and freestyle them and just get busy with them. So what you did, they done added 4 or 5 different combos to all of it. So technically they're more advanced when it comes to creativity. So, if I'm shooting from this, Steph Curry, Dame Leonard's watching. Oh, you see that shot? Oh yeah, let me try to pull up. Now they're mimicking it. Now they're trying to shoot it farther. They're watching, like I turned around. Now they want to do the whole circle.
Yeah.
Start clapping, and that's what they're doing. So what ends up happening is once it comes into the league and everyone sees it successful, now they're like, now they got to start, now they're trying to look for it and mimic it, and we need to put the analytics. And I'm like, whoa. You can't analyze and put a structure off of one team. Yeah, Curry is number 1, number 2. Clay is number 1, number 2. KD's 1, number 2, 3. Like, these are the best shooters in the game. You can't say, oh, we need to run and shoot threes and don't let layups and threes. Wait, what? What? Do you know there's 29 other teams? They don't have these 3 motherfuckers. So they don't have them. So that is that's great for them. That is actually bad for everyone else if you're going down this trend. Because what ends up happening is because there's only a few Ray Allens, but they're all taking Ray Allen shots, you have bad basketball.
Yeah.
So now when you look at an over-under and they scored 214 in 2020, that is horrible. You're shooting 20, 30 more three-pointers than the early 2000s but only averaging 4 more points. What? I don't know what your analytics said, but that is horrible. That is a horrible stat line.
And that's where analytics becomes, I love analytics because analytically, you can make anything look good.
Sound good, yeah.
You can find a number that matches what you want to say, right? And what you want to prove. And one analytic is, in the NBA, it's rim, number 1, which you're going to get fouled, free throws, number 2, and corner threes, right? It's the best 3 options. Analytics come in now, I don't know if they did this before, and they say we have to play this way, to your point. We have to shoot 33s a game. That's what they told me. And I said, with who? TJ Warren is a paint scorer. Bled is most effective driving, getting a piece of the paint. Book can shoot 10 if I tell him to. But where are we gonna get the other 20? Like Brandon Knight is a 3-point shooter off a combo. He has to combo before he shoots. He can catch and shoot, but he's more efficient, like get into his rhythm. That's gonna be bad basketball. You gotta do it, okay. We about to get a top pick. Okay, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can say, okay, either you really believe that or you really want me to get us a top pick. Just tell me the truth. Because if you was my teammate and you shot all those threes, I'm gonna cut you out.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's that happens, and then you really start to break down like the why and the how and the waves. You remember when we were coming up, it was like probably, say, 7th, 8th year into the league. We would go see young kids play. And be like, man, all these young kids want to do is dribble and shoot threes.
Yeah.
Right? Or get to the paint and shoot a layup. They don't have no mid-range game. But them young kids are now our superstars. So analytically, that's why the elbow jump shot doesn't look good, because they don't practice it. That wasn't their upbringing in skill work. So is it the analytics or is it the habit? I say it's the habit. If you constantly drill something, you're going to be efficient, right? Just drill it, efficiency. And if elbow shot is like at the 38 to 42, or maybe even lower, you have to analytically figure that out and say, okay, he can shoot it, but for Earl Watson, you can't shoot that shit. Bro, when you get the ball and you drive and kick, or drive and get a layup, but don't you shoot it. Elbow, Coach Woodhand is saying, I love you all the same, talking to his team, but I love you differently. The bus is gonna wait on Lou Alcindor. The bus ain't waiting for you, Earl Watson, right? The bus is gonna wait for Gilbert Arenas, right? So you gotta understand and coach everyone differently with more leash.
That's crazy. That's crazy because how do you coach a team to success if they're telling you this is what you gotta do, right? You gotta shoot 33s. And you like, I played this game for so long. If we shoot 33s a game, we're gonna get our ass kicked most games. And me getting my ass kicked, you're gonna fire me. And you firing me off of something you told me to do.
That's how it works.
You telling me to take 33s a game, and we don't have that personnel here. And we're gonna be bottom last in threes, and then you're gonna look up, and then they're gonna be like, your team was bottom last in threes, we gotta make a change. And then I'm gonna get fired because this is what you gave me. Like, that's what I don't understand.
And it depends on how bad you want your next contract, right? So if I didn't play in the league for 13 years and I came into coaching and I'm trying to build my financial wealth, I'm gonna have a problem with that. But for me, I was young, I was trying to figure this coaching thing out. It happened so quick, I didn't have time to breathe. I became the interim head coach in Phoenix and technically didn't even have a contract as an assistant. So I got hired behind the bench. I helped with the LaMarcus Aldridge pitch because I helped with Sean Marks in San Antonio, so I knew it. I knew in Phoenix we could do way more because San Antonio has certain rules and regulations to how much they want to give one player spotlight. Then I was a development coach for Booker and Eric Bledsoe and Ronnie Price, who was my teammate in Utah. Like, how do I help him progress and get him some extra years? I became, on my contract it read, the only way my contract was voidable is if I moved to the front of the bench and got a title, front of the bench. Our entire assistant staff gets fired. Jeff Hornacek becomes head. He's still head. I moved to the front of the bench. And with me dealing with my contracts over the years in the NBA, shit, I read. I know my contract situation for outs and extensions. It ain't new to me, right? I go into my meeting and they go, okay, we're gonna offer you a front of the bench title, which is, titles are big in coaching, and we're gonna pay you X amount for 2 years, second year or option. Now, me being a former player, I don't want to talk to anyone about money. Talk to my agent, because I'm gonna say some you ain't gonna like. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna get ugly. So I'm in the room and I have to have this conversation. I know it's about to get ugly. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. I've never seen anything like this. I play for great organizations. Look, my response is like, I appreciate that, and the title's great, but I'm gonna just stick to my $110,000 that you gave me for being a development coach, right? And I'll just get out at the end of this year if Jeff don't extend. Like, I don't want to be tied to another staff, because at that point, Hornacek didn't have an extension. So I was like, yo, it's too much juggling. I just want to get out, and maybe I can find my way at UCLA somewhere doing something. Like, you know what I mean? So we're close now, and the gym is like, fuck that. This is the deal. You're not gonna take it? Because no, I'm not gonna take it, because if I take it, now I'm tied to the future of this organization on your discretion. I don't care if I'm the lowest paid front of the bench coach, making $110,000. This is where I'm gonna be. And at the end of the year, I can walk away. You extend Jeff, and we have a clear picture of the staff moving forward, and you want to offer me that job, cool. So we went back and forth for a couple of weeks, honestly cussing each other the fuck out. At this point, the agent can't get involved, right? Because we already had that conversation, and it's like, well, if you don't like it, quit. Well, I was like, well, if you don't like it, fire me. I'm not gonna quit, fire me, right? And it happens, we're in the middle of a losing streak, and boom, Jeff gets fired. I'm thinking, yo, I can technically walk away, right? I get a phone call late at night or a text early in the morning, come in, we're interviewing all 3 assistant coaches to be interim. I call Jeff Hornacek, I'm like, hey, sorry about you getting fired. Man, tough situation. Like, how are you, what are you gonna do? And they want me to come in for an interview. I'm asking, what do you think? Right? He's like, well, I can't stop you from doing that. Go for the interview and go try to get it. I hit R.C. Buford. I hit Scott Layden. What do you think? Well, just go do your best. I go into an interview, I get the job, and like, boom, I become an interim head coach, right? I finish the season. I don't know what the hell's about to happen. I was told I would, in the interview, like 2 or 3 hours, I was told in the interview for the interim, you're not gonna be our head coach. We want you to finish the season. You have 2 weeks to flip Markieff Morris for the best pick you can flip him for. He wasn't playing at that time. He then was disgruntled, right? And then we wanna see what we have in our young players. What's your plan? I'm like, shit, we got practice in like 2 hours. Look, my plan is to make Markieff, sometimes with players that are disgruntled, the best thing to do with them is to make them the leader. Hey, you feel you're the leader. You empower those players. That's why they're disgruntled, right? You empower them. So he's gonna be our number 1 option. I'm gonna have him averaging 28 and 8, easy. Devin Booker, I believe in his mindset, We're gonna play out of him. He's gonna shoot 20 times. I've seen it before. How you see it before? I played for Hugh B. Brown. I had meetings with Coach Wooden. I played for Nate McMillan. I played for Jim O'Brien, Frank Vogel. I played for Nate McMillan, Dwayne Casey. I played for Jerry Sloan. And I started my coaching career in the G League and doing free agency pitches with R.C. Buford. And I've seen the transformation of Dame Lillard was Terry Stock. I'm cool. Like I reflect, I'm cool, I get it. You know, shit, it worked there, it's gonna work here. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like what happened. And it happened so quick, man. So for me, it's like being a head coach, you gotta know which jobs to take and which jobs not to take. And when you're young like me, you don't really know. Because you're gonna get fired for your record. No one cares about the narrative. They don't even remember the narrative. They just pull up your record. 33s a game. You was last in transition defense. Why? Because we ain't got no shooters. If you shoot a three, it's gonna be a long rebound and it's gonna be 3-on-2 action all day in transition. We ain't got no shooters. You're gonna be last in transition defense. We ain't got no shooters. And after the transition defense open up, you just done, bro.
That's what I said. The analytics don't tell you that your experience does. And you know, when people challenge what is his experience, he played.
Yeah.
He played the game.
And you have examples of all these things.
That's what I said. When you play
list.
this game, you understand it. Yeah, you might not know how to translate it to coaching, and that's gonna take, work, but that's his role. It's a better role. Like, oh, he's been coaching for 30 years. Oh, he has? Okay. Hey, if I was playing, what time would you sub me out at? Yeah, I'll sub you out at the, probably if you're not in foul trouble, the 3-minute mark, 2.5. Why? Here's the excuse, right? And I was like, well, when do we usually get in a penalty? Around 4 or 5-minute mark, right? You take me out, the most aggressive player, out at that minute mark. And then you sub in someone who uses those
pattern player,
those 2 minutes to get warm.
Yeah.
So while we have 2 minutes where the defense now can't jam, I drive, he can't contest, or I'm gonna get an easy layup, or I'm gonna get a foul, I'm shooting free throws. He picks me up full court and I get a foul back there, I get to walk all the way, get free throws. You're taking all of that out of the game, you're gonna put in someone cold who's gonna use that to fill the game out. He's not gonna be aggressive. He's trying to get warm, and then he's gonna start off the second period going hot. But I said, you would never know that because you never played.
That's interesting, because if I was the coach and I said that was my sub mark, I'd be like, yeah. Hey, GM, when we draft or trade for someone who's gonna back up Gil, they can't be a pass-first point guard. They gotta be a combo guard, so when we sub them in, I can keep Gil in longer, and they can be effective, right? Because if you put Alonzo Ball with Gil, who is a pass-first point guard, who is dynamic, not taking anything from him, he just, your blessings and your talent is your talent. Can't change it. And we play Gil longer, Lonzo's gonna feel uncomfortable. And what I would do as a defender if I was guarding Lonzo is like, yo, when Gil isolate, I'm gonna trap. Lonzo gonna have to beat me with corner threes, and he ain't comfortable coming out shooting threes immediately. And if he does, I win, because he's gonna shoot them all game, and that ain't his skill set. You know what I mean? That ain't his strength. So you gotta structure the team around the player. You can't just take a player because you like a player. Does he fit?
Does he fit?
And that's the whole thing. Who fits with our best player and players so they can all complement each other? And you gotta have these conversations, because a player's never gonna have a coach where they do everything perfectly. You gotta have that conversation. I'll be like, oh shit, he's right. Hey, pull up that free agency board. Hey, who do you like for that situation on this board? And he gonna tell you because he's around them. He'll be like, yo, I played with him at UCLA and he's perfect. And I might not even know it, but I know he knows it. And that's when you start listening and building.
And that's what, with me and Eddie, because when I had to break it down to Eddie, And I was like, why you keep pulling me out? And I said, when Antonio Daniels get in, he's trying to get the field. We're not getting these easy points. I could have had at least 5 more free throws.
Yeah.
So he's like, but I'm gonna put you back in the 9-minute. I said, the 9-minute mark.
Yeah.
I said, if you're gonna play him 6 minutes.
Put him the first 6 of the second.
I said, play him first 6, put me in the 6-minute mark. And I was like, yo, let me finish so I can eat, hurry up and get this motherfucking foul trouble or something.
Yeah.
While the subs, they're coming in cold, trying not to figure it out. I said, that's when we headhunt. That's where you try to get a 6-0 run, a 5-0 run, get a couple big men in foul trouble. Those 2 minutes where they can't touch you.
Yeah.
Because that's when everyone subs and that's when everyone's non-aggressive because the sub is coming in.
Yeah.
Then I said, and then at the end of the second, at the end of the beginning of the second, play AD for 6 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Shit, by the time I get back in, we might be back in the penalty. Shit.
Yeah, and that's why he was great at what he did, and that's why he would be a great coach, because he understands. I tell you, it's 1,000 games within the game of basketball, and everyone cannot articulate that, or they don't understand how to make the defense shift. Mm-hmm. Like, it's basketball or triangles that constantly, I call it abstract art. Mm-hmm. It's constantly changing. And once you understand the patterns, you can change it. Mm-hmm. You can manipulate it. He understands the manipulations of the patterns. And a lot of coaches who never played, they have to learn that through coaching, which they can, and it takes longer. But for a player who played any position where you had the ball in your hands, you learn that naturally from coming up as a young player.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, shit, I shouldn't have passed. That defense rotated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I drove too deep. There's no one to pass out to. I turned it over.
Caught in the air.
Yeah, you got caught in the air. You learn that from messing up and watching film and being a gamer and being a junkie.
And I think you look at coaches, you mentioned Vogel and also Spoelstra. Guys, obviously they didn't play in the league, but being a top player, being a player in the league, the challenge is, you know how these scenarios go. You've been through the war. But it's organizing your message to get through to every player, not just the stars.
But what makes a great coach for a coach who hasn't played a game is adapting to the stars.
What you're talking about, abstract art.
Yeah, you gotta adapt, like Spoelstra, he had all these guys, he's adapting or understanding, he's willing to learn. Like, I'm the coach, I'm a rookie coach, but I'm learning too. I'm learning from what you do, because I remember LeBron and them I think they started off the season 8-8.
Yep.
8-8, and we got in there like, yo, we about to steal one from these boys.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, yeah, Bibby, I'm gonna pick Bibby up, he at the point. LeBron, hey, listen, just keep LeBron in the corner because he don't got no foot speed. He's going, because he can't generate his offense from the corner, we good with that. The only person we got to worry about is D-Wade zippering up.
Yep.
We can win this one, right? Start the game off, boom. Sticking my man, we in the corner. LeBron at the point. Yo, I think they switched their offense.
Yeah.
Point. Now Mike Bibby's the 2. They first win is against us.
Yeah. Run
22 straight.
Yeah.
And I was like, they got smart.
They figured it out.
They realized LeBron is point, not actual 3. God damn it. We could have had him.
As a player who's dominant, how many counters do you have to get good shots? Mm-hmm. As a coach, how many ways can you counter the game? Right? You gotta have unlimited ways of countering the game. Like, I remember that Miami year. And it was a conversation as D-Wade saying LeBron got to claim the team, basically, right? You got to claim it. We can't be sharing. It's your team. Mm-hmm. That means the ball is in your hands, which he just described, and things start to change and morph. And then that's when Spo, and I'm assuming being relatable and having relationships, whether they were bad and became good, or sometimes you got to just tell players the truth, whether they like it or not. So it was like, yo, you can have the ball, but you got to get a piece of the paint. Because that is what makes you unique. To be that size, get the ball in the paint, to get passes, layups, dunks, fouled, is going to make us a better team. Now, when D-Wade get an isolation, he can get anything he wants. Now, when the ball come back to you, on a high pick and roll, you drive and you get anything you want, but we're not gonna settle for jump shots, right? And then you start to evolve and you start to grow. And you gotta have personal relationships. You gotta build that personal relationship. Because if we don't have a personal relationship and I'm his coach, he never feels comfortable having that conversation with me. Because then once he do that, he's labeled uncoachable.
Yep.
You know, and it's not really that. It's just like we didn't have a relationship and I got in my emotions because he said something. Like now he's uncoachable. Like, let me call all my coaching friends. The same way players call other players, like, yo, I hated playing for him. Coaches call other coaches, he's uncoachable. It just happens, man. It's just that barrier that happens.
And that's the sad part is, and then you get the media and they run with it, and you can see how a player plays and say, okay, they're gonna clash.
Yeah.
Right? It's not gonna work. Like, because it's like, he's a lion that's a cat.
Yeah.
This lion and this cat, he's not gonna like the way he yells at him, so he's gonna try to get him out of there.
Yeah.
You know, then so when like Jimmy Butler, like you can just watch it, like, it's not there's something like them early Chicago years, that was a tough-minded team. That's why he didn't have any problems. When they go backwards and they want to rebuild, that rebuilding's irritating this lion because it's like, no, what are you doing?
Here's the thing on a rebuild where players like Jimmy and veteran players, it frustrates them. In a rebuild, you are pushed by ownership and management to develop younger players and see if they got it. But what a lot of coaches do in that development is they don't hold them all the way responsible for fucking up, right? So I got this from Hubie Brown in our rebuild, and we started winning 50 immediately. You got to hold them accountable. It is no personal conversations. Whatever I said to Devin Booker, I'm gonna tell him in front of the whole team, right? And if he doesn't like it and we go at it, we just gotta go at it. And we can go to dinner later because we got that relationship. I would go at D-Book, I would go at Tuck, which a lot of coaches I'm sure are scared to go at Tuck, but we cut from the same cloth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you wanna win, I know you wanna hold everyone accountable. They're incapable because they're young and we don't have that talent, but you gotta say it a different way. And I learned that at UCLA. I would cuss out all my teammates. And then it was shut down on me. I'm like, damn, I can't cuss out Jerome Moiso like that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go give him a hug. He's just different. I'm from the hood in KC. Like, I can't talk to him like that. You don't know what the hell I'm saying. Hey, Romeo, what's up, baby? Hey, we coming to you. It's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't want the ball anymore. No, Romeo. You like one of our top picks, baby. It happens, right? I would go to Dan Gazuric, say something in his language, you know, something about party after, because I know he couldn't shoot free throws. So for every free throw, I'm like, hey, we're gonna party after. He's like, yeah, he felt comfortable. And Barron, I could grab Barron and be like, the f-? You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up the same. We're comfortable. So you gotta have those relationships. I remember me and Book would get into it, me and Tuck would get into it. And then we'll always fix it. And one time me and Tuck got into it and we cussed each other out. And, you know, I feel like I've grown as a professional, but I don't give a fuck about fist fighting. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. So, like, yo, look, this suit can come off quick. I don't even like suits, dog. I prefer Dickies and Cortezes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dickie Cortezes and Jordans. Like, I don't even like suits and hoodies. So I coach in a hoodie and Jordans every day in practice. I don't like suits. I can't dress like, it's not me. I'm the new wave, you know what I mean? And we squashed it and we was cool about it and we loved each other, but it happens. Me and Book the same way that he'd call me and be like, hey coach, can I come get the I-8 for this event I got? Because he's only driving like a Mustang or something. Something like, you know, he didn't have the money yet. I was like, yo, you come get any car you want, bro. He's want to just floss to the event. Just, if you wreck it, and when you extend, you owe me a Lambo. I'm just being honest with you. Like, you know, when you wreck it, I need a Lambo. He didn't wreck it, so I didn't get the Lambo. But we still have that relationship. You can't hold those grudges because in the moment of competition, some players mentally go to a different space that's not normal. That's why they can hit the big shots. They can make amazing plays and they play with so much passion. It's not a normal space. So you can't always expect as a teammate or a coach, a normal response. You got to give players their space to be themselves.
You know, and I think that's what the outside world don't understand about athletes. When they be like, oh, they was fighting in the locker room. They was doing this. Yeah, that's just, they're figuring it out. That's their competition.
Yeah.
And I said that did, like when I heard about Boston.
Yeah.
I was like, are they gonna win the next game?
Yeah.
I said, all they're doing is just holding each other accountable right now.
Yeah.
This is not a coaching, the coach can't dictate this one. This is the two players in there and they gotta figure it out and then they're back friends and they can go play.
Yeah.
I said, you're around each other so much. Your friendship is so tight that you can have those discussions, no matter if we like it or not. Like, you know, if I said, I'm having a bad game, you tell me pass the ball, and I say, get that shit off the glass, nigga. That's the moment I'm in. Don't come to my room and knock on the door and try to, let's talk now so you can fight me. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, you won.
Yeah.
You won that fight, so you want to know. But right now on the court, get that shit off the glass.
Yeah.
Because I said that to Brendan, but get that shit off the glass. I ain't giving you.
Yeah.
You missed 3.
Yeah.
I got 0 assists. I'm chucking. Watching the movie. Hello? Yo, GA, is B Wood. Oh, what's up, man? what's up, man? Oh, yeah. We just got some things to talk about. Things? Like you mean like plays or something? They're like, nah, we just need to handle this and, talk like men. So yeah, just open the door. Hell no. Man, you better get away from my door, bro. I'm calling security. I'm about to call security. You ain't about to come in here and whoop my ass. No, thank you, bro. No. Yeah. Hey, B Wood, I'm sorry, brother, but you know how I get sometimes when I'm in the bed. I was in the slump. All right, forgive me, brother. All right, I got your 5 new passes tomorrow. Yeah. Now get away from my goddamn room. Yeah. And that's how it is. But in the heat of the moment, just sometimes it happens. But once we go back to normal.
See, I don't want to be around players who can't have sometimes those crazy ass conversations, right? Because I've never seen it work any other way. And I don't know how Tim was in San Antonio, but Papa was that person who would have that crazy conversation where you feel like it's disrespectful, but it was for the good and the cause. I remember being in Seattle my first year. GP was the point guard. I was a rookie. I remember, I will never forget this, playing at Detroit. I came in, my first shot was a 3. We lost the game. That did not determine the loss of the fucking game, right? But as soon as we got in the shower, I was walking in and he was walking out. He was like, he used to call me Rook or baby boy. He's like, look, Rook, next time we get in the game and you check in, don't shoot a motherfucking corner 3. That can't be your first fucking shot. NBA played different back then. Dump it in the post, cut, and then if I pass it to you, you can shoot a corner 3. That's not your first option. Your first option is me. And I was like, it's GP. Either I'm gonna confront him or I'm gonna fucking learn. I was like, all right, tell me anything else, bro. I got you. And it'd be times we get on the plane where GP would be like, nah, we don't deserve any food flying home. We play like shit. No one's eating. And some people are like, no, I'm gonna eat. I'm like, damn, I hate losing too. No one eats. That's my mindset. Why should we eat? We didn't come in, wasn't prepared. And it made, when you get a pass as a role player from Gilbert Arenas or Gary Payton, that pass comes with a more accountability. That pass just feels completely different. When you get a pass from a player who isn't established and not an all-star, it's just a pass. Like, you know what I mean? There's no accountability. I know I can't fuck up his assist because I'm gonna hear about it, or I know it's a great pass and it's more, every play is more accountable for the next play.
All right, Gil, let's take a break to talk about our friends at Orgain. Hoopers are constantly looking for the best clean nutrition to help them stay healthy, active, and feeling their best. When you play ball, you don't want to be weighed down or slow, but you want to be fueled to compete at your best. Well, we're happy to say we found it in Orgain. It's an absolute game changer. Thanks to Orgain, their sport plant-based powders help us get the most out of our workouts and feeling our best. The Orgain Sport Protein Powder is a unique blend of organic ingredients to help build strength and optimize both performance and recovery. Mix it into a smoothie or shake for a quick on-the-go drink. If you need that extra spark to start your workout or you want to stay sharp throughout the day, reach for the Sport Energy Powder. It's packed with electrolytes and adaptogens for optimal performance no matter what you're doing. We all know how you recover is just as important as that workout. Orgain also has a sport recovery powder that maximizes restoration. It replenishes tired muscles with a unique blend of plant-based organic ingredients, including adaptogenic mushrooms to help reduce inflammation. And at No Chill, we're not the only Orgain sport powder believer. Pro golfer and US champ Bryson DeChambeau loves Orgain too. You know, if your workout routine is you want to be fueled up, you play ball, you get your shots up, you get your fives in, you get your run. When you're done, what do you need to do? You need to recover. You're sore in your knees, ankles, hips, whatever it is. So get that adaptogenic mushroom powder that reduces inflammation in the sport recovery powder. So thanks to Orgain, we finally found the best clean products to help keep us healthy and maximize our performance. And right now, you can save 20% off your first order. Plus, when you subscribe, you can save even more. So for fans of the No Chill podcast, we got something for you once again. Go to tryorgain.com/nochill. That's tryorgain, TRYORGAIN.com/nochill for 20% off your first order plus extra savings when you subscribe. Tryorgain.com/nochill for that game changer in Orgain. And let's talk once again about our friends at Mint Mobile. Breaking up with your old wireless provider just got a whole lot easier thanks to Mint Mobile. They were the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, and now Mint Mobile is introducing their unlimited data plan for just $30 a month. Let that sink in. An unlimited plan for $30. How much is your soon-to-be ex wireless provider charging you? You know, what we did is exactly that. Take a look at your bill. See how much you're spending, and then see what that savings means. So I did the math, found out Mint Mobile is a big break, made the switch. For people that hate their phone bill and are ready to cut ties with big wireless, Mint Mobile offers their premium unlimited plan for just $30 a month. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. And if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. Break up with big wireless and switch to Mint Mobile's premium unlimited data plan for $30 a month. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $30 a month, and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/nochill. That's mintmobile.com/nochill. Cut your unlimited wireless bill to $30 a month. Just go there for yourself and see the difference. mintmobile.com/nochill. All right, Earl, man, we covered so much ground here. But now it's your turn to get something out of Gil. Ask Agent Zero time.
I think a lot of people know your story, but I don't think you can tell it enough. Growing up in high school, the personal things you had to overcome, and I remember seeing you come into the gym I didn't know you was going through all that, right? A living situation, family situation. And when you went to college and when you got drafted, I don't think people understand you was never given anything. When you went to Arizona, it was as if you was gonna come and be a role player. You had to take a spot, earn a spot, and then still prove yourself in the league, in the pack, when every game in the pack was like high-level competition at the guard position. Then you get drafted in the second round, and you just said earlier you should have been you feel like a top 10 pick, which we all know who played, but then you gotta prove yourself again, because I remember you coming into the locker room in Seattle on the DNP like, Still happy though.
Yeah.
Like in a Dickie suit. Yo, he crazy as hell. But you still was happy. You still had like this ability to where, I remember you told me that's when you really started, it was about to break in. You was like, yo, I'm about to take this.
Mm-hmm.
What mindset can you give everyone who is, like a not supposed to be there type mentality, but you have the talent and you don't get the recognition? Where did you go mentally to be able to overcome one major obstacle after another to get to the point when you became elite, arguably the best point guard in your time in the league, to still say, how do you keep that edge to keep going?
So there was a time where I did break down.
Yeah.
Where I thought I wasn't good enough, right? Because I was looking at the wrong thing.
Mm.
I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant. I'm looking at all these the abilities they had. Like T-Mac coming down the lane jumping. I'm like, I can't do none of that. And it's just like, I'm watching my highlights, right? Like when you watch something, you get inspired.
Yeah.
So I'm watching myself do things that I don't know. I can't explain it. Like in college, I can't explain. I'm doing this so I'm sitting there watching it. It's like, what's the difference? They got two big men back there. I'm blowing by him, trying to dunk on him, get to the free throw line. Ain't no difference out there. So I said, maybe I'm approaching it wrong. Let me look at how I would score if I was out there. So now when I get to the game, I'm just watching. Now I'm watching for a purpose, not a game. The score didn't mean anything. I'm watching like, all right. I could have took him right there. No one's there. Why he didn't take him right there? He's on the baseline waiting for the 4-5 pick. Well, the defense, he just blindly just went across. He's not even looking to see if his man got beat.
Yeah.
All right. I can beat him on the baseline on the 4-5 cross. So I'm just sitting here, studying it. And then I was like, I need to get better. This is my time to get better. Yeah. Now I'm watching. All right, let me work on these. Okay, go. So now I'm working on trying to, go off that move I'm working on. And then from there, just shot after shot. Shot after shot, just putting up 400, 500 on that, on the shooting machine. Yeah. I'm reset 999, reset 0. So I'm sitting there just working and working and working and working. Then when in practice, trying to apply it in practice.
Yeah.
Get some success. Okay, they NBA players. This is Mookie Blaylock.
Yeah.
He's one of the top defenders. Just blew by him. Oh, yes. Larry Hughes, I remember the first time me and Larry Hughes played one-on-one, 27-3.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
27-3. Because I didn't process what was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just out there.
Just playing. Yeah.
Playing, but now I got a chance to slow everything down. So now when I seen success, I grabbed at it.
Yeah.
All right, one step, cool. All right, one step. So by the time I get ready to play, I'm already in all-star mode in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm already I done had 10 against Mookie Blaylock in practice.
Yeah.
You ain't Mookie Blaylock. You ain't the steals king. Because you gotta remember, I'm coming down and he used to get in you, and then when you turn your back, he comes from behind.
Yep.
So because in practice, he didn't get it, like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now I knew in a game, if I ever tried it, I don't have to worry about somebody who's not built like him. So I'm running my game simulation in practice.
Yeah.
So now I'm taking practice like for everything. Like, all right, Jason Richardson, all right, he jumps like, this person. All right, let me see if I can, he blocked it. Okay, I need to get more space.
Yeah.
Pump, I'm a pump fake, get the foul. That means next time he won't jump. Boom, pump fake, he jumps, boom. Second time, regular step back, got it. So that means I can do that against this 2-foot jumper, this 2-foot jumper. And I'm just running this simulation off of practice. Okay, I got Eric Dan Pierce, a shot blocker. What's the name? All right, let me see what I do if I just blindly jump. All right, he's coming. That's sweet. You know, and I'm sitting there after practice, I done scaled and evaluated. So I'm sitting there like, yeah, they got beat by 20, but I would have scored at least 10. Yeah. And that's where my mind went. I'm watching a game like, I'd have got it Booker right there. Yeah. Oh. Dang, last time I played Gary, when he did that, I got scared because I was thinking like, junior high waking up like that's the GP stance. That's the GP stance. Like, oh, you get in there with a little smirk. I'm like, oh, he's the glove. Yeah. You know, last time that freaked me out. That's just he don't move that way. Oh, he can't move like that. Yeah. Jason Kidd got his right arm as a little crick, so I can do the right to left crossover. It's not my strong suit. But if I go left, he can't poke it because it's kind of bent. Yeah. He's losing about 3 inches. Yeah. I'm already running all this before I even step on the floor. So when I got there, it was like, I didn't already process this already. Yeah. This is just not a game. So what ended up happening is instead of sitting on the bench, like, man, I don't even know why they didn't play me. No, I'm playing a game. I'm playing. Like I'm out there playing. Like got him. Yep, I got you. I probably missed that one. I'm sitting there running the game as if I am playing. Yeah. And that's what kept me going. Like, I lost this one today. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I went into a fantasy world. Yeah. Because it was like, I'm watching the game tape. I know I can do it. I'm practicing. I'm hitting the shots in practice. Yeah, I'm in a suit. Yeah. But let me play. Let me go out there. You got to beat him, Larry. I would have off the rebound. I would have just why wet the set up? They're great defense in the half court. Yeah. It was basically a one on three. You could have got there. Just fake baseline, go middle. And that's how I was running it. So, I didn't look at it like I was a 15 player. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just simulating like I'm really playing. So when they finally called my name, like, cause that's what I said, there was a pick and roll, he passed it. I already told myself, that was done, nigga, take him. Yeah. So when coach said, all right, let's go. All right, okay, I got this. Yeah. Now I gotta make it like real. Yeah. Cause I remember I did get a rude awakening when the first time I tried. I was like, yo, we down 25. Already ran it. Steve Kerr, slowest. I said, Steve Kerr, slow it. Damon's not the same mighty mice. Look, if they in the game, when I get in, and they trying to pick that full court shit up, I'm just gonna blow by them, right? And I'm just gonna dunk on boom shay. Where, right? And I was like, Chris Mill was like, man, he gonna toss that. Yeah. What? I'm gonna go down the right side on the little press, and I'm gonna take off block. Watch. I already ran it. I already did it. I did it like 3 times already. He's like, all right. 3 minutes left in the game. Rooks, all rooks in. Watch. Right? Something happened. Steve Kerr on me. Boom. Yeah. Oh. And I didn't think in my simulation, I got a 44. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, watching everybody jump, I felt that's how I jumped, when in reality, I didn't jump like that. Yeah. So I took off, and I don't even think he jumped, and he just caught it, just, bah, boom. Ah. Damn it. It was timeout. Chris really, welcome to the NBA, Rook. Yeah. Nah, I think I took off too far. Yeah. It was just one of those things, and then from there, it was just processing, watching film. And I just watch film. I'm like, everybody is unstoppable if you don't know them. Yep. You know what I mean? Everyone's unstoppable if you don't know them. So while I was young, and trying to get into that circuit, understanding, because I'm not given it, I gotta learn it. Yeah. Before I even became good, I used to watch Baron Davis. Yeah. I was watching Baron Davis when he was 5'6". Yeah. It was him and Kenny Bruner. Yep. When Kenny Bruner was better. Yep. And I'm sitting there watching. And my dad was, these are the two. What? Like, I'm not even good. Why do I can't even play basketball like that? Like, I don't want to watch them. I don't care, bro. I want to go play with my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there watching. And then I remember, like, I think BD's kind of better this year because he looked like he got taller.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and I'm sitting there just watching. And that's where, sitting on my dad's team, being a coach.
Yeah.
Wasn't good enough to play, just watching. I don't think he has it today, Dad. Nah, he got some on his mind, something out. And just watching. So when I got there, and I'm depressed and when it's not game mode, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I don't know nobody. I'm not playing. I'm not. It's basically practice and sitting. So that's where I had to visually create my own basketball season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I encourage all players to do, because you got to remember, you can run down the rabbit hole if you want. You run down that rabbit hole, it's just like missing a shot.
Yep.
Miss a shot, you get down on yourself. Well, if that negativity is on them 3 shots, you're going to miss the next 3.
Yep.
So if you're on the bench, you sitting there angry, mad, none of that's going to get you in the game.
No.
None of that's going to get you in the game. So you need to trick yourself and change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to change it.
I think you learn to create realities from your adolescent situations.
Mm-hmm.
And that became a gift in sport. And he said a couple things that are big. Coach Winter had a saying, is like failing to prepare is preparing to fail, right? D Book was in the same situation. He wasn't playing. I was a development coach. We would practice before practice and meet after, right? And then we would go to ASU gym and do it again late at night. And he was pissed. And I was like, yo, if you are pissed when you get your opportunity, you are going to fail. Your mindset can't be there. Practices become games. You got to stay creative and still believe and practice and mimic the game in your workouts. A lot of players just work out, and a lot of players visualize and mimic the game in their workout. And that's where they excel. But his mindset is how he excelled. Like, a lot of players right there would not have done that. They would have just quit on it and be like, F it.
What's so funny is, and people ask me, like, yo, how did you get the starting spot? Like, yo, did you get there, like beating somebody out? And I was like, no. I was like, Larry Hughes got hurt. I said, Mookie Blaylock got kicked off the team. Larry Hughes hurt his ankle in game 41. Bobby Sura rejected the starting position because he liked coming off the bench. And they gave me the position. And it was like, but how did you keep it? I said, because when he gave it to me, in my mind, I was already balling.
Yeah.
I said, I stopped. Look, I remember this is we're playing the Timberwolves. And we just finished playing Atlanta. So we were down like 20-something in the fourth quarter when I got in, and we tied the game. Four rookies and O'Donnell Floyd. We tied the game, and I remember all their starters came back in, and our coach was like, "No, you didn't do nothing to deserve this."
Yeah.
And then he told us, "Listen, y'all already won this game. Y'all already won. Just go out there and just finish it.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, you won. You're gonna get a standing ovation to what you did today." I'm like, all right. Jason Terry came back in and hit the shot.
Yeah.
Right? So we're playing Minnesota, and end of the third quarter. It was the end of the third quarter. And they're like, I'm really into the game. Like, damn, man, he don't move like he needs to move. I can, that's easy, KD, KG's, this and that. I can get buckets. This is easy bucket game, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, it was 2 minutes into the third, 2 minutes left in the third. Coach was like, all right, Rook, get in. Second round, Rook. Oh. Second round, Rook. Sorry, that's me. Because we ain't got our names yet.
Yeah.
Second round, Rook. All right, so he puts me in. He was like, just handle the game. We got 2 minutes. Just play out there, play smart. All right, yeah, I got this. Yeah, you can't guard me. I already done scored on you a couple times. I go on an 8-0 run.
Yeah.
I scored 8 straight, tight. We were down 8, tied the game up. And then I was like, oh, that's money, right?
Yeah.
Money. I told you he's weak, bro. And then just from there, it's like the confidence came because I was just processing it. And that's what I tell people. I was like, when my number was called, I was beyond ready. And I said, we don't never know when we're gonna get called. But one thing I know for sure, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But when it happens, if you ain't ready, you're probably never gonna get that call again. So you need to prepare every day, every moment, like you're gonna get called. Because when he do call you out of frustration, you don't know if it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, let's go. Be ready. And I said, because if you're not, you might not ever see that floor again. Like I was watching Dunn last night.
Yeah.
Had 15 quick ones.
Yeah.
Mentally ready still.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. I've been there. I've like, man, they ain't messing with me, man. And then go out there and turning the ball over, getting blocked, and he mentally wasn't there no more. So it's like you just gotta always stay sharp, no matter what.
And that's big. That right there is the most powerful thing in sports and life, period.
And I think that's exactly where we can wrap this up and bring it full circle is, I'm going to just say this after today. Players make the best coaches. And not just because if you were a great player, you're going to be a great coach. It's the idea that you can be adaptable, right? You can use the experience that you had to develop a message and translate it to the next wave of players. And then also accept their feedback, because then you adapt as a coach. That's really where I think coaching is going. That's the future of it. We got 2 guys right here.
Yeah.
Very well.
I'm learning, it's like, we don't never, I never thought of myself as a coach. It was just a player. And then I just listen to the coach and do what he says and then add my little flavor. And I was telling somebody, I said, man, when Book hit the 72, I said, that's a player's coach. That's a coach you want to play for. And I said, and the reason is, if I don't know anything else about it, he could have took the man out at any time he wanted to.
I got to tell that story, bro. I got to touch on that story, bro, because no one's ever really asked me about that story. It was after All-Star break, and a couple weeks before, we had just beat the Celtics at the buzzer at home. Roster was limited because they wanted to, position themselves for a good pick. It's business at that point when you're losing. Tyler Ulis, we pick up full. Celtics throw it in Phoenix weeks before. Tyler gets it, hits a 3 at the buzzer. I lose it. I'm like, I don't know if I will ever get to this as a coach. I don't know how to compete in anything and still be cool with you. Coaches got this thing where they like wave at each other and like they're cool. I'm like, that's why I love Jerry Sloan. We had a thing in Utah, no fraternizing. I don't give a fuck if you grew up together. If you speak to him, you're not playing. That was Jerry Sloan thing. So I love that. That's me. You know what I mean? So we hit it. I celebrate. I forget the wave at Brad Stevens, and I think it kind of pissed him off, right? So now we're going into Boston a couple of weeks from now, and I literally got like 7 or 8 players available. And I'm coming off the bench with G League guys. Barbosa's our leading scorer off the bench. At that point, he just, I had to depend on like the old vet. Like, you can't, that's not who you want to depend on going into Boston, coming off the bench, right? And all we have is D Book. And, our roster's limited. We brought in some G League guys. And I'm like, damn, they about to smack us. It's get back. It's like beating somebody up and then you got to go through their hood by yourself and a couple, and you jump them with 10 deep, you know what I mean? It's like now you're going in with 3 and it's like, damn, we're going to lose today, but we're going to fight. So my plan was not to even play Book, that many times. A year and a day to that date, we're playing the Lakers, Kobe. And Book was so excited to play Kobe. Cole wasn't playing it. He was playing the last road games of every team. Mm-hmm. Like he was limiting the Staples game to play on the road, right, for his exit. And Booker's like, hey, you think Cole's gonna play today? He's gonna play today. He's like, man, I couldn't sleep last night. Mm-hmm. Book loves Cole. I said, look, after the game, I'm gonna connect you because he can give you knowledge I can't give you. So I'm gonna hit Cole after the game and put you two in a room and just take his number, because a lot of young players don't do that. Mm-hmm. Take his number and call him nonstop. You know what I'm saying? You got the players that do it if you contact them that way. So after the game, we win. Kobe's going off. I will never forget this. Kobe's going off in the fourth, and they're coming back. And I knew I had to win this game because, you know, the Phoenix situation is very unique. Mm-hmm. You lose the wrong game, you're gonna get fired right there, right? In the office. So Book catches a cramp in his calf muscle. Cole might have been at the free throw line. I'm on the sideline. It's intense last 3 minutes. He goes, yo, E, like my leg is cramping up. Like he's in pain. Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn, like he come out the game, we don't have a chance. I'm like, are you saying you want to come out? And this one I knew the kid was special. He looked at me, he said, no, this is my shit. Bucket. Close the game out. Go get Cole a hug after the game, like, hey, yo, you know, congratulate. Everything, seeing his work at UCLA in the summer to now is amazing. Everything he's did is rest in peace, Cole. And I was like, but I'm gonna send D Book down there because he loves you, bro. Like, if you can mentor him, that'd be great. For me, he's like, yeah, send him. Send D Book down there after the game. He signed some Kobe's that say be legendary. Mm-hmm. A year passed the next day. We down 7, 8 players. We in Boston. They're like on their run, getting ready for the playoffs, just cooking people. Before the game, I look at Book. You can tell he's frustrated, he's tired, and he's worn out, and he doesn't understand the business of basketball yet and why people aren't available to play. Mm-hmm. So I go, hey, bro, little bro, be legendary. He's like, yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm. We get in the flow of the game. They kicking our ass, right? And I've always been a sore loser. I will never accept losing fat. I'm tearing everything up, right? Mm-hmm. So they killing us. We going into halftime, and the ball goes side out, and Brad Stevens calls a timeout. And I picked up a lot of things from Brad Stevens just coaching against him. One thing I picked up against him is he knows every team's play calls. And as you call the play, he describes the action for his defense. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, that's brilliant. I'm gonna steal that, right? Because you steal like players, right? So he put me in that mindset. He calls a timeout, and I go, what would I do with 2 or 3 seconds left, side out? I'm gonna throw a lob. Side OB, side out of bounds. I bring the team in, I was like, okay, but they're already up like 15, 20. Oh, it's a street fight. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, just being in the mindset, you're gonna throw a lob up 15 plus, it's a direct you, mm-hmm. right? We competing, I love it. I love the edgy competition. Call my team over, hey, they're gonna throw a lob, be ready for the lob. They throw the lob, we deflect it, we go into halftime. I'm thinking, yo, with all this losing, no opportunity to win, I'm gonna catch all the heat. It's gonna be me, no one cares about who's available. But during this process, Devin Booker about to be a fucking superstar. Okay, cool. I'm calling a timeouts and I'm creating offense within the game. I can create plays within the game that we don't have. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in the same set, sometimes I create a whole new set. Mm-hmm. I'm about to put my pen game to work, right? Yeah. We about to get him going, so we rolling, boom, boom. I mean, we not close, but we close enough that anything can happen. Boom, boom, boom. Boston fans start cheering. It's like probably 5 minutes less in the fourth quarter. They call timeout. We call timeout. Fans are going crazy. I asked my assistant at that time, Nate Bjorken, who's now the assistant for Toronto, why are they cheering? He goes, Coach, Book has 64. I said, no shit. This out of bounds play about to be for him. So I go in, and I knew this was going to change his life. If I can build that confidence in him as a youngster, 19 years old, he would feel ineffable. He would feel like no one is able to touch him ever offensively. So I go in the huddle, and I know how they defense. I know the patterns of Boston's defense. I know they're gonna switch guard on guard. I know they're gonna follow Book over the top of every pick because he can shoot. So I just created a simple offense with counters, with 3 quick counters. We never ran this play before, but here, this is what it is. It's simple. Boom, 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 boom. Backdoor. Boom, 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 boom. Come back, pin down again off the loop. Come back and pin down 3. We getting into it. So, end of the third quarter, backing it up, I was gonna pull Book and just sit him. Like, we just take this 30-point blowout. But he had hit a shot and Marcus Smart walked up under him and Book took it personal. Walking back to the beginning of the fourth quarter, he's like, don't take me out. I was like, well, let's go. So I get him to 70. Brad Stevens, and their bench cussing each other out. Literally cussing each other. You. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. You ain't gonna say, me, and I'm gonna sit down and be like, okay, the fuck about this? You. GP was my vet. You. You know what I'm saying? Like, confrontation is easy. We're going back and forth, so we get them to 70, and then, it's like probably like 15 seconds, 20 seconds left in the game, but defensively, who else you think was gonna shoot it? Barbosa or the G League players? It's gonna go to Book every time, but I knew that 70, I was gonna catch heat from the coaching fraternity, but I knew it didn't matter to me because my peers are not coaching yet. Those are not my peers. I respect it, but my peers are not them. But I knew as a former player what this would do for Book's confidence moving forward. And I think that was a great momentum to moving forward, even though we all wanted to win, we just wasn't capable.
Yeah, and that's what I took out of it. I was like, man, like for a coach not to pull him and say, make your stance here.
Yeah.
You got one of the best defensive teams here, and you scored 70.
Marcus Smart, one of the best defenders.
So I said, this is bigger than that game. This is the rest. Once he did that, there's no man, there's no team that's going to stop his ability.
No, his mindset took off.
His mindset, it goes. And I said, that's what some coaches sometimes don't understand, is that sometimes you have to let it go. You have to, if there's a record there, and it's pointless up there, sometimes you just got to say, I'm going to take the chance. You go. Yeah, just go. I'm giving you 5 more minutes. Go.
And as a coach, you got to be able to create counters within the game because everyone knows each other's offense. If you can't draw it out and create and your mind can't think in patterns and new offenses and, actions they haven't seen yet, you're not going to get 70. Book wasn't getting 70 like, here you go, isolate. Here you go, one-on-one player. It was like through actions of 70 and through transitional flow. So you got to create the ATOs, create the offense, create counters, and just you got to constantly create different looks to get it. And he got it.
Because I remember when I was playing New York Knicks. And I got 46 at the end of the third. Crowd chanting 81. I'm like, you about to, yeah. And coach is like, we're up like 25. And then, I'm, it's like, AD, do. Oh, come on, dog. Oh, I hate when you be doing this, right? 9 minutes going. Timeout, like, yeah, boy, I'm about to finish. Hey, y'all ain't getting the ball right quick. Let me just try to get a little quick. then nothing. No sub. 6-minute mark. No sub. So I'm just like, I'm off this, man. I'm off. I'm off him. Come. Yeah, he ain't gonna do that. Like, I could have had 50 today. I haven't had 50 before. Yeah. Like, that's like the running joke that I can't score 50. Like, all right, we're going to the locker room. Like, man, I don't even want to take no shower.
Yeah.
Right? He come in, right, give his little speech. Now, I'm not even... Walked to me and said, the reason I didn't put you back in, because you had broke Larry Bird's record, the most points in 30 seconds or 30 minutes and under. Say what? It said, yeah, you had broke Larry Bird's record, the most points under 30 minutes. If you played more minutes, you wouldn't have that record.
Yeah.
Yeah, record holder. Yeah, what's that? Hey, where we going tonight, boy? Yeah, good win.
Yeah.
Like, but I wouldn't have known, like, you know what I mean? But he knew that. And that was like that's like, yo, whatever he say is best for us then.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just because I had a coach that understood stuff like that, how like that would inspire someone who's trying to.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy because after that, when he subbed me, I trusted him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because before that, we was, you know, we still like, come on, man.
Yeah. Why?
Man, come on, he got 10 points already.
Yeah.
Like, I'm you know what I mean? And after that, it was trust. There was whatever Eddie Jordan said after that, it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, hey, you got to pass the ball a little bit more. Got it. I got it. You know what I mean? You know, I might be trying to pass, you know, break an assist record or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, you know, when you have a coach like that, man, it is special. That's why when I seen it, I was like, all right, that's they got a good thing going on.
Yeah, coach, you know, other coaches hate me for that, but I'm not here to make any other coach on another team feel comfortable or be liked. I don't give a fuck about being liked. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's all about how can I get the best out of my group? And I've had my chance to play, and how can I give him the opportunities that I can only dream about? Mm-hmm. And he's capable of doing it, and I think he took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
He for sure did.
Yeah.
He for sure did. And I like that.
But that's what I'm saying. But as players, like, and you said it right, you guys are not my peers.
Yeah.
Like, my peers seen what I did. They seen how I instilled. So when one of them get a job and have the power, I know who they're going to come at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all might not like it because y'all got embarrassed, but that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, us players is getting in.
Yeah.
We getting in, and we gonna show a new style of playing, a new style of thinking. Yeah. And that's gonna be the new wave where the players are coming back and they're gonna, hey, the front office, we're gonna treat you like Google. Everyone's gonna be brilliant. Yeah. We're not gonna have somebody who sitting up at the top don't know nothing, just paper pushing. Yeah. Now we can't afford him because that's not it. That's not how it works.
If you got a relationship, you can afford anyone.
Yeah.
Because players, culture and players can move the needle for less. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. You can move the, for a personal relationship, players don't mind giving up money to be happy if they know they with a group that they trust and they have a personal relationship with to move forward, and they can come and talk to about anything. And I think that's where players transitioning into coaching, that's where they have the leverage. Coaches who've always been coaches, they have the leverage with understanding the technology, how to create a scouting report, how to create intel and game information, but that a player can learn that. Mm-hmm. But they need more opportunities to learn. And that's why, you know, players are getting knocked, because he's right. I get knocked a lot for not being a coach long enough. And I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. I should have just not played 13 years. And said, now, you know what? I want to be a coach in my 30s and 40s, so I'm going to stop playing around 28 and start coaching. No, I'm like this is interesting. When you coach, you look from the sideline. In practice, I like to walk around because as a point guard, you walk around, you're moving. Yep. It's very difficult to coach from the sideline because you're used to seeing different angles on the court. Yep. So you got to be very conscious and mindful of that, and that's why I walk around in the game, right? We're about to play OKC, and we sitting in Russ left. Everybody weak him, right? High pick and roll, weak him to his left hand. Their big was in the right dunker, Steven Adams. So what Russ was doing, he was going left, pulling up. He was going left to the rim, dunking and attacking the rim, or he was going strong left just to dump it off. Mm-hmm. I said, well, we about to play chess. We're going to send the most athletic, dynamic point guard in the NBA today, right? And coach was like, hold up. We cannot send Russell Westbrook right. When the assistant was like, yeah, we can. He's like, he'll get to the rim. I was like, no, he won't. Steven Adams is on the right dunker. Yeah. It's nowhere to go. Send him right. And he was shooting analytically like 36 from the right elbow. Mm-hmm. Send him right. And that's when you play, you start to like turn it and move it, and you see, and we won, right? And they never figured it out. And if they would have figured it out, shit, send him left.
Yeah.
Send him to the dunker.
Yep.
Like, just simple adjustments, and you start to learn. And I had to think that way because I had to get in the game. I wasn't going to outscore him or GP, but if I could defensively make a game transitional with stops, I'm worthy.
You know what's so funny? I remember, Dane, I remember when we were playing, we was playing Kobe and T-Mac. We was playing Kobe, and I was like, just push them right. And it was like, nah, they're gonna get to the basket, they're too athletic. But that's all they're gonna do. I said, who came up with the ideal of push to the weak hand? The weak hand is the most gifted part of their game. Like,
especially T-Mac.
Yeah, I got all my moves, my hezzies, my step backs. It's hard to step back this way, and then I got to turn back and face. So when I go right, I'm forced to go all the way. When I go, and then it's hard to pull up on a runner going right, because if I'm going right, I got to grab it with this hand. He's on that side, he's gonna pop it. When I'm on the left, I can just bring it here. So I said, I think y'all getting this wrong. I think you should push the strong right-handers right, because they only are one-dimensional. They don't have their pull-up. They don't have a step back. They're gonna have to actually work on that. But going left, they've been pushed left their whole life.
Yeah.
And they've developed 95% of their skill going this way. So when you say it, I'm like, that's gonna work, because he can only get to the basket. Well, that's all he can do. You don't have to worry about him pulling up like that. You don't have to like with James Harden. Just push him left.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep going, because he can't do his runner that way.
Yeah.
He's gonna just keep going.
Chris Paul. The great players are gonna figure it out. The thing that Chris Paul, everybody wants to push him left. High pick and roll. So you push him left, he'll stop, he'll hold you, then he'll snake back and come right. Mm-hmm. Now your defense is fucked up. He's gonna get back right no matter what. Just keep him right. Mm-hmm. Now at least we know what the hell's about to happen. He's still talented. He's gonna score. He's gonna get his assist. But we just took away the whole right side of the court. Mm-hmm. Everything's gonna be weak side action. Sam Cassell, Minnesota. We iced blue, sent every pick and roll baseline. Well, Sam would bring the ball up the left side of the court, take the ice, get the step up, and he was great stepping back going left. Mm-hmm. Or he'd get you down there and he was great on the post in the left block. I tell Hubie, I say, yo, I can't send him left. You putting me into his traps. Let me send him over the top, even though analytically we're not supposed to, but let KG pop out and let KG be the main playmaker from the dunker. We just go boxes and elbows. KG's gonna pivot and shoot. He's not gonna drive it every time. If he is, he's driving to score. Mm-hmm. But you put Sam Cassell down there and he get going, he's gonna close the game from down there. Yep. Keep him out of there. Yep. But those simple things is that you know it from playing it.
That's what I said. It's crazy that we're talking about it, because we're seeing the same, and then you watching the game, you're like, how do you guys not know this? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, how do you not see it? And it's like, because you never played.
What did Earl just say? You know it from playing it.
You know it from playing it. You know the habits, and that's why I always preach, the best coaches had to have played. You have to play at some point to at least understand it from the court side of it. You gotta understand the speed, the game, the 2-for-1, what they're looking for. Okay, coach said, all right, no threes. They're yelling no threes. That means this guy is jumpy. That means if I pump fake, he's gonna jump. Hey, ref.
Yep.
Ref. Earl's gonna jump on it, watch for the contact. All right? Okay, cool. Yeah, Earl, I'm about to hit this. Yeah, I'm about to hit the 3 on you. Boop.
Yeah.
Oh, 3.
Yep. Players hear everything. Yeah. So because players hear that, I had a code word for no threes. Mm-hmm. Right? Because in my interim, I couldn't put in a whole language. I couldn't. It was too late. So I had to say, hey, close out, no threes. Mm-hmm. Corner man open. Players hear that shit and throw it right to the corner. Yep. Like, damn, I can't say that. I'm learning as a coach. Yep. And then if I don't say it, they still gonna hit it and throw it right to them. I'm like, damn. Hey, we need a code word for no threes. So players won't hear, because I'm listening to everything, I'm seeing everything, and I'm picking up on manipulation. I would look at the coach to see what he's gonna tell the player. What play he call? I know that play. Hey, it's gonna be like zipper rub, high pick and roll, Manu Ginobili. Coming down, zipper rub, one up rub, a Spurs, right? High pick and roll, Manu. Okay. I'll just call it out. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with coaching.
And that's why but that's why you can see like what makes, it's just the coaching is the easier part for us because we done did all this. We just have to understand the logistics.
Yeah.
The logistics of this up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there was none of this, we good.
Yeah.
We good. We can handle this part of the game. Because we can see things that the young generation can't right now.
Yeah.
And we got to tell you guys, he's gonna fake that pass. No, that's a decoy. He don't even like it like that. He's gonna decoy it coming from somebody over there. Like, so, hey, don't jump, don't double that. He wants you to double so they can pass it.
Yeah.
We can see that coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just getting that opportunity that you have stability.
Yeah, you need opportunity and you have to learn to have the relationship. So we talked about teams that couldn't shoot threes. For say a team, say me, I'm coaching the team and we're in transition, we're worse in transition D, and we're giving up 20 points a game in transition. I'm gonna go to my analytics guy and my video guy and say, what's happening before they get out in transition? Coach, they get out in transition because we miss a lot of threes. Okay, how many we're missing? We're missing 14 to 17 a game, 14 to 15 a game, 16 a game. And how many points are they scoring in transition from those missed threes? Like 14. Damn. We got to limit our threes.
Yeah, because that changed. You got to remember, if we lose them by seven, this right here is why.
So you got to dig it up. And as a former player, you got to have those analytical conversations. But as a former player, you don't always depend on them because you overcame analytical odds anyway to get into this situation. So it's just, how do you create that relationship?
How do you look at the analytics the right way?
The right way.
The right way that actually tells a story what you're trying to accomplish versus just, our analytics say this, go.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's analytics versus reality, because if you just follow the analytics, then why even?
Because you got to remember the analytics are screwed. So yeah, analytics is good, but you got to remember they're manipulated to make it look a certain way. So if you're going to use analytics as a coach, use it in a way where it actually tells you the truth of what's going on.
And sometimes the equations aren't right. So like I had an analytic come to me that Eric Bledsoe was, limited or bad efficiency catching at the elbow. Shit, we ain't got no play for him to catch at the elbow. What is this from?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because the cameras pick it up and they intel it and they equate it. Well, that camera's wrong. The equation for that is wrong. Like, was it when he drive to the elbow? Was it when he dribbled through the elbow? Was it when he pulled up at the elbow? We don't know. So now we gotta, and if one analytic is wrong for me, I'm questioning everything. Because I'm not doing the math, but then I could do the math and say, these numbers don't add.
Yeah. I remember did you ever, were you still in? Yeah, you were still in. They were doing like body heart monitor.
Yeah.
Right? I remember in Washington, and a group came in and they was like, we want to put these things on you. We can see, your energy level, injury, like if you're, what's your risk of getting injured, blah, 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 right? Like, all right, put it on. And then it gave me the results. And the results was like, all right, you don't have any energy today. Really dehydrated, your performance level is almost like at a 10%. So, you're gonna struggle today.
Yeah.
That's what this paper says? Does this paper say the person over there can't play no defense? He cannot play no defense whatsoever, and I'm gonna score like 40 of them? This paper don't say that right here.
Yeah.
Because if this paper is spitting out this and he don't play no defense,
Yeah.
went out there, gave him 40.
Yeah.
Never looked at them again. Man, get that. You dumb. That's dumb. I know what I'm spitting out. Okay, 10%. He don't play no defense. Trust me, I'm gonna get excited. I don't know what y'all talking about, but he don't play no defense at all. I'm getting 40 tonight on him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird. It's like you're taking away. It's like it seems like it's taking away just the natural part of the game because it can't measure heart, determination. When someone gets mad, when someone's afraid of another player. Like, yeah, your numbers might be running like, oh yeah, you about to do this, but he might be scared of him because he did something in the summer that frightened him. So you might lose this player here. You know what I mean? This player might, he averages 2, but against him, he averages 15. Might want to play him a little bit more. Like, only the analytics don't say that. Your experience does.
Yeah, your experience, It's a great movie about that, the pilot that landed on the Hudson, right?
Sully.
Yeah, so they put him on trial for the analytics of the landing.
Oh, wait, no, is that Flight, Denzel?
It was Sully, right? They put him on trial, and he was like, they was bringing up analytics, and he was like, well, analytics don't measure are the human reactions and responses to each individual person. So it's good, and it's also gray, and it's also can be effective, and also that's bullshit. You know, so you got to have that perfect equation of information. I don't think it exists yet.
Ways to go. Man, covered a lot of ground here. And the thing that I love most of all is from playing. Like that's as simple as it gets. And also, I think we have a coaching staff right here on this couch. You two, not me.
If I ever got a job, I got you. Hey, you the head coach. I'm assistant. So Earl, I don't know. I know that. Sorry right there, but how do we?
That's it. That's all it's got to be.
You know, and that's where like minds come in. That where you get to pick people's brains because one day you might get put in a situation. And you don't want to be granted a staff. Like, wait, hold on. No, I got some people. Like I got some people I trust. I got some people that's smarter than me at this. Like I'm never gonna say, all right, let me pick my own crew and there's a bunch of dummies. No. I need you more intelligent than me. I need you to see better than me. I need, so when I look, you be like, I got it.
That's important.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you gotta remember, because if I'm getting fired, that means my information's wrong. No matter if they take my information's wrong. You know what I mean? So I want to put, hey, the information's great. We all doing great. We all get raises. If I lose and they congratulations. You know what I mean? Don't fall where I feel. It's one of those. I think sometimes when you get a coaching job, that some people are scared of their roster. Like, no, I want bulletproof. I want top and top and top and top. I want to be the weak one. Where I can say, yo, what's going on out there? Well, coach, blah 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 blah. Oh, for real? My bad.
Yeah, that's who Bob Hill was for me. But going from interim to actual being the coach, they give you names that they like and names that you ain't gonna do. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is, but it's tricky, man.
That's what I said.
You gotta be an established coach to really bring in your own staff. And you gotta figure it out. But I think coaching, you can figure it out. Like, it's all about learning. I was grateful that the Spurs taught me all the things behind the scenes on how to coach, how to break down film, how to create analytics, or not analytics, but like, scouting reports and type it up and all that stuff. It was great information. And I was able to apply it and still understand and express my experiences. But it's not hard.
Oh, I remember when Rush came, right? And I was like, because it was like, I guess those years, it was like Ricky Davis was at the UCLA, Rush and all that. And then you just see Jelani Gardner. And, so that's what I'm coming into. Just what, like, damn, it's nice. He's only in college. Oh my God, he's NBA, he's the best player here. Yeah, he's just dunking on NBA players like left and right. And I always say this, man, like some talent they can't go through college.
Yeah, you're right.
They can't, they are NBA.
Yeah.
They're straight NBA talent, and the college is that fork in the road that actually messes them up.
It's true.
So I remember it's like one of them things like, yo, just I don't care where you get drafted.
Yeah.
I remember I had to Cassius. I told his father, I'm watching him against KCP, and KCP's a decent defender. You know what I mean? And he takes the hard assignments.
Yeah.
And I see young boy 1, 2, boom, pulling up.
Yeah.
Casey's nowhere to be found. He had the first step on him. Casey recovered because he stumbled. But I'm just watching a high school kid because he has so much raw talent.
Yeah.
And I'm telling his dad, I said, listen, I know you're going to Duke. I'm telling you, I don't care what he does at Duke, into the draft.
Yeah.
I said he might not be a college star.
Yeah.
He's NBA. He's an NBA star. His ability is NBA ready.
Yeah.
And you can get lost with numbers in that zones and
mellow ball.
Yeah.
NBA ready.
Yeah, NBA ready.
College isn't for him.
And there's some players like that. And when you're picking, players and drafting players, you got to understand the difference between a college player and why he was successful in college, and a guy who it hurt him in college, but this style he's going to excel at. And I had to learn that too with somebody like Richard Jefferson.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I the number one option on the team? He's the 5th option.
Yeah.
And he's damn near a lottery.
Yeah.
How? Because he wasn't a college player.
Yeah. He had NBA, big time NBA skill.
It was an NBA skill. And I had to get set down and talk, and then, that's when I was in my process of watching. Okay, I can see why he's struggling.
Yeah.
And that's how, But you gotta be able to really break all of it down to just excel in anything.
Yeah.
But the new wave is coming.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And they need guys to take them through.
Oh, we go.
There we go.
We coming.
There we go.
Them dinosaurs hey, they can only shuffle them 20 coaches. They can only shuffle them enough before they realize they just don't have it. They just don't got it. They're outdated.
Need that new blood.
Yeah.
Fresh blood. All right. Earl, thanks again.
Appreciate you.
Gilbert, with the ultimate tribute when he wears your own jersey on.
Yeah, but he hit the game winner on that jersey, so it's a reminder.
Oh, believe me, he never lets us forget.
But you can tell what kind of guy he is. He gave it to me though after, so I can be able to walk in there. And
he didn't want it after that.
No, I can walk in there and be like, yo, wait, can I get your jersey? And he don't feel like, nah, hell nah, dude. You gotta I got your GA. You know what I mean?
Still fits. All right, this has been No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. For Earl Watson, I'm Mike Botticello. Remember, you can catch us every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Fubo Sports Network.